Hey everyone, welcome to the weekly original CrockPet Diet roundup. Sorry I'm a little late. I had Amazon guy like threw my package at my door. Um, but so I had to check on it. But hope everyone is doing well. I am Michael Daly, your host, certified holistic pet health coach through Dr. Roberts, certified canine massage therapist, certified equine shiatsu massage practitioner, dog owner, cat owner, gerbil owner, lots of fish, hamster, mice, and two mice. Yeah. Anyway, let's get to the Facebook stuff. A lot of questions this week, so I'm going to try to get through it all without rambling on. All right, I want to make sure I do this right. So sharing that, and then I'm going to go to Facebook. All right. Okay. Let's see. All right. Look, I already had it down where I'm supposed to have it. Heather, you had asked me about this coconut oil, a coconut oil that didn't taste so much like coconut oil. And honestly, if your pets are just not big in the coconut oil, I would honestly just try another oil. Try olive oil or avocado oil is a really good one. I actually really like avocado oil because it's also supposed to be good for the energetic spleen in Chinese medicine. So that's where the food first gets processed into gu qi in Chinese medicine. And so avocado is really good for spleen qi deficiency, which to be quite honest, most pets have because that co-aligns with intestinal impermeability or leaky gut syndrome. So maybe do avocado oil if they're just not buying the coconut oil. I think that may be the best because I honestly don't know the answer to that. Because if they don't like it, they don't like it. So maybe try that. But thank you for that question, because I honestly, the one about the oils, I was like at Costco with my friend, and he was looking at oils, and I was like, oh, this means cold press means this. And spelled after that question, because I really honestly didn't know like all the different varieties myself. So good, that was such a good question last week. Dana had a poo question. The last batch of CrockPet I made when I was distracted. The last batch I made when I was distracted. After adding the turmeric and mustard, I realized that I used tablespoons instead of teaspoons. I scooped out what I could, but I'm sure there was too much of each of those. I packed up his food and sent him to dog camp for boarding. Since he has been home, he has been going poop more, and his poo is bright yellow, to be expected, I guess, but it also has excess mucus in it. He is also taking damp heat relief. Excellent. Raw Romania root, Chinese gentian root, Asian. I'm not going to go through all those, just a lot of roots and things. I'm wondering, could the excess turmeric and mustard cause a mucus in his poo? His energy is great, appetite not affected, thirst normal. He is just going more and looks like I described above. Varies from well-formed to pudding. You know, he may also, just with the boarding, there may be a little bit of separation anxiety going on there. So he may have a little bit of colitis going on, just a little inflammation in his colon from stress of being at a boarding facility. Even if they have fun at one, there's still a little bit of stress there because they're not, used to being home. And also, I mean, at a boarding facility, kind of never know what they really can get into. So yeah, I would just see how he does, Dana, and just go from there. See if just getting him back home and back on his regular diet and go from there. But I think the mucus is going to be more related to possible stress. Sue had, depending on when you send him off for dog camp, his pooping habits may have been off. And yeah, absolutely, because there's no place like home. Aww. So this could be quite normal until he moves. I'm not going to go into Dorothy. I'm gay, but I'm not doing Wizard of Oz, guys. Do not tempt me. Until he moves out his food out of his body. I've done it twice in theater. I was with a Dorothy that actually I was nominated for a Tony 2 years ago for Come From Away. She was my Dorothy when I did Summer Stock. All right. He seems okay otherwise, except for lots of pooping, right? I used to own a boarding kennel, and it was a thing no matter how much we walked the dogs. Absolutely. That's a great answer, Sue, especially if you owned one. Like, it's just an abnormal routine. It's a different environment, so they can get a little bit of an upset tummy. Dana had written back. He always has some issues the night after he returns from camp. My guess has always been that his schedule is off. Camp staff arrive, start feeding my dogs at about 6 a.m. and they get their dinner around 5 p.m. Yeah, and that's the thing. I worked in kennels back in the day, and it's like, we got to get in there. it's such a routine, and it's like feeding, 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 cleaning, clean, letting out, letting out, letting out, cleaning, 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 cleaning. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, they got to kind of go with that. At home, breakfast is at 8 a.m., dinner's around 8 p.m. He is also usually worn out, so he doesn't get his nighttime crazy run through the bean field and poop. The music is he has more concern than anything. Last time he got braised beef, like for stir fried rice. He picked the beef out with surgical precision and left the rice. Say in the morning, back to new CrockPet tonight. Yeah, just give him a little time, Dana. I think he should be okay. Buddy. I know you had another post about him too. Eleonora, one of our pet health coaches, Dr. Ruth told me once that stress itself can be the cause of mucus. Going away from you is always stressful for your furry friend. Doesn't matter how much they seem to like it. Having a bit more spices possibly added to it. You're a wonderful pet parent. I agree. Let him also fast a bit. Yeah, there you go. Let him fast a bit so his body can heal. And that's absolutely right, Eleonora. Actually, in terms of Chinese medicine, which I just went through before, giving the chance for the energetic spleen to process and heal a little bit. So fasting will kind of give it a break from doing its job, you know? And then when you feed him back in, it can process the food even better. So sometimes a fast is a good thing for pets. Although we do pretty much fast our pets in general, like that's a fast from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. If you have no treats, that's a 12-hour fast right there, which is good. But with a tummy upset, I think a fast is helpful as well. Good answer, Eleonora and Sue. All right, and then the probiotics. So we're talking about the dirt eating. And so, yeah, and I still do recommend the Megaspore because it's a really good spore-based probiotic. So it's just going to work stronger because either with or without, because Lolly had asked too, and she was right. Lonnie had mentioned about minerals, and I actually looked back and found the Q&A that Dr. Roberts had taught you about this, Lolly, with the dirt eating and adding the minerals in, just making sure blood work is all okay, which you had done with your pets. And I know we're working on the vitamin D deficiency from the parathyroid hormone test. But either way, if there is a mineral deficiency, it's because the key thing that we want to do is get the gut in check so that it can absorb minerals properly. So that's if we give minerals and the gut isn't absorbed, then it's not going to matter. So the key thing is to get the gut going well first so that it can absorb the minerals in a proper way. So that's why I like the Megaspore. And then I was looking through, and there is another, Dr. Roberts recommended a product. I have so many bookmarked pages, guys, for y'all. Where did I find it? No. Where do I have it? So trace minerals, B12 is a standard process supplement. It's like, I had it pulled up. Shoot. So basically, there's a lot of minerals in it that you can try too. If the pet is either, I think more than not, the pet is trying to get its gut back in health. When they eat grass or eat dirt, I think they're mostly trying to find probiotics to get their gut in check. I don't buy the mineral thing so much. Only reason being is because we used to, we recommended trace minerals. Actually, it wasn't this one, it was another trace minerals for some dirt eating. And I don't think there was really any changes with the dirt eating. I think a lot of it has to do with probiotic. And sometimes, y'all, I think we just have to I know we don't like eating dirt, but I think we have to sometimes let nature correct itself, So maybe let your dog eat the dirt, let him do his thing and correct it and see if that stops it, But I would also I would gear more towards getting the gut healed than adding in minerals, honestly. But this would be one to try, the trace minerals, and see if that works. But I definitely would focus on the gut first. Let's see, and then I think Becky had She had one. Right. Because Lolly was asking about the minerals, and Becky said minerals and beneficial bacteria. Exactly. I think honestly, it's more bacteria. That's because it's the minerals aren't they're not being digested correctly because of the lack of good bacteria in the gut. And then she had recommended a brand called Carnivore Fluorophore, which I looked up, and it looks like just a lot of natural probiotics in food. So I don't know. I mean, give it a whirl. If it helps, it helps. I'm always I'm kind of like that. I mean, if your dog was eating dirt and you used that and the dog stopped eating dirt, then give it a try and see if it helps. But I'm kind of more towards the gear of getting a really more potent probiotic in there than the natural one. It may not be enough. Either colony forming units in a powder form, so if you're going to do a powdered form of a probiotic, you want it to be like 100 billion colony forming units. And then the Megaspore is more of a spore that actually like lays in there and then colonizes by almost like, and I keep equating it to the movie Alien, but it sort of like sprouts the probiotic and starts colonizing the gut and getting the good bacteria in there. So it works really strong in that kind of sense. That's why I like the Megaspore better. But yeah, eating dirt's a weird one. It's a tough one sometimes. It's like the eating poo, other dogs' poo. Like it's like I've seen so many things. People try different things, and some work, some don't. So, let's see. All right. Dr. Roberts had her weekly live broadcast with Christy, who is certified holistic pet health coach, and Lori is almost one, and she is one of my students and is doing such a great job. So, a lot of y'all on this page would be really good pet health coaches. Really, like seriously. I mean, Dana, you'd be great at it. Lolly, you'd be great at it. Everybody would be. I mean, everybody that really poses questions. All right. So, and Lolly had a question about the correct dosage, which she messaged me about. So I think we got this figured out. So there's Dr. Roberts has the new holistic total body support, which has dog and cats on it. And then there was the older one that's smaller bottles. And so it was just different amounts. Let me just look at the comments here. Yeah, it looks like there's a mix-up with the Amazon one and yeah, I would definitely, yeah, and people were saying just look at the one you have on hand. I'll take a look at that Lolly though, just to make sure there's not any confusions. The one you had sent me, I know definitely on the left was the old bottle. So definitely use the one that you have in hand. I would not look it up online then if it's a little confusing. So I'll look into that more though to make sure that Dr. Roberts knows about that if that's off. So it's not all over the place and people are giving the wrong amounts. Absolutely. All right. Michael had a post. Pet School UC Davis releases new paper. Spay or neuter surgeries can increase the risk of issues including joint disorders, various cancers in dogs. Using newer techniques like vasectomy, ovary sparing spay have less health risks. Yeah, and there's been a couple of studies like that. Oregon State did one. And basically what it has to do with the Oregon State one is the amount of luteinizing hormones there's the levels of luteinizing hormones are 30 times higher in dogs that have been spayed or neutered. And the job of luteinizing hormones is to produce testosterone with male dogs and estrogen and progesterone with female dogs. And so when those, with a spay or neuter, those are taken out. And so luteinizing hormone levels increase. And the other thing about luteinizing hormones, LH, call them LH, is that they can interact with other things. So like thyroid gland, pituitary gland, adrenal gland, cruciate ligaments, intestinal tracts, urinary tracts. They can interact actually with other tumors. So their idea is that that's why we're seeing such a greater risk and increase in cancers and cruciate tears and urinary tract infection and anxiety and things like that because of it. So they are recommending to wait on spaying and neutering. I have a lot of clients now that are more not doing either and not doing the ovary sparing spay either. They're just not having their pets spayed. And it always depends. It's hard with the male dogs. It's easier just because it's really they don't have cycles, like the female dogs do, and so sometimes the female dog cycle can be a little messier. So that can be a lot of stress. So a lot of vets are recommending now to wait at least a year, at least one cycle, if you can. And then, or you can do the ovary sparing spay, which it can be really hard to find. This is a site that I can give y'all. Where did I put it? There it is. So this is the Parsimus Foundation, and basically what you can type in your state and it will give you the veterinarians that do the surgeries, and they're not, most of them aren't more expensive because it's actually an easier surgery. I actually knew somebody that's friends with a vet that does the spaying one, and he said that he had to increase it by like $10 because people couldn't believe that it was like the same amount as a spay. Oh, here we go. So yeah, this is the view our directory. So this is you just click into this. And then, yeah, search for a veterinarian in your area. So unfortunately, we have in South Carolina, only Greenville is the only place that has a vet that does that, which I'm really surprised about because it's becoming to be a really more popular thing. So, so yeah, I will put this. Here. Oh shoot. Bam. There you go. So yeah, more and more people are doing this or not spaying or neutering. So I'm really curious to see the results of that. So. All right, Mr. Jack. Oh, so cute. All right, the medicated shampoo and the new herbal supplement have cleared up Jack's itchiness, but now he has an ear infection. Might be from pond and creek swimming. Very well could be. Hoping to get him into my vet in the next 3 days. If not, MediVet has an urgent care. Of course they do. Sorry. Going to dog camp for a week, so I need to get this taken care of and maybe catch a break. I know. Yeah, I would definitely, whenever he swims in that pond, Dana, I would definitely clean out his ears with just a basic, like, non-abrasive ear cleaner just to dry it out, because they can get all sorts of bacteria from that. And she has a little update. Update, ear infection is both yeast and bacteria. Was given ear drops. Administering them is preparing me for administering them is preparing me for alligator wrestling. Welcome being a vet tech. Good news is he's still growing, now weighing in at 91. 91. Buddy. Yeah, so what I would do, Dana, is use that, and if it's, oh man, I know it's shepherds can be so bad about ears. Go through the nightmare of clearing up the bacteria, and then when he swims in the pond, do your best to use just like, even if you like have to like, you may be able to get away with just taking like a paper towel and just wetting it with the ear cleaner and just like swiping it, like feed him a treat. Maybe while you may be like, oh yeah, right, but feed him a treat and get your finger in there while he's eating the treat. Or coming from behind is always the best approach with dogs. If they see you coming, they know. So if you can always come from behind. So I would, if ever I'm doing an ear cleaning by myself as a vet tech, I basically, what I do is, hold on, I'm gonna get off of this real quick so you see me on a little bigger screen. So I'll have the dog, here's the dog's head facing you. I'll have the dog in between my legs, one hand on the collar, and then I take my thumb, fold the ear back. So I have a collar in my hand as well as the ear, and I put the drops at the top of the ear so that they roll, and they will roll down into the canal. So instead of squirting directly in, so dogs don't like things coming at them. So if you can kind of come around them and have things go in them, they like this motion. They don't like this motion. They like everything like this. So if you can get that, and so you're gonna have his ear and the collar, so he's not gonna be able to shake, and it's gonna go in no matter what. And then you can kind of massage the ear and everything from behind holding that, and then get get just one. All you gotta do once the bacteria is gone is get like a paper towel and get one swipe in there, and that's gonna make the difference. So try to do that once a week, or every time he swims, actually, if it's gonna build up. So yeah, but when on the daily thing, try that with the cleaner and see if that makes any difference. You can also have them give you a syringe too to put the ointment in, or the cleaner in, so you have a little smaller thing, and just kind of like, you'll have I don't know, it's just more of like a shotgun you can have. And so with the ointment, just kind of like do it that way instead of having to squeeze the bottle, you know? And if they're giving you an ointment and it's saying like, do 4 drops, like just do a small amount. I hate when vet techs write 4 drops for ointment. They don't come in drops, guys. It's not a drop. Like just get it in the ear. You know, and it's the same, honestly, the same with if it's a liquid, like if it's Tresiderm or something like that, just get it in. Don't be like 1, 2, 3. I mean, the dog's done. I mean, if that's the case, then the vet tech come over every day and do it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's my piece on that stuff. Hang in there, Dana, though. He's a lucky guy. All right. Leona had a question on what are your thoughts on cleanses? Jessica asked, does your dog have parasites? Leona, I'm only asking the group their thoughts on parasite cleanses to expand my inquiry. If you have followed, I think my cat is meowing. Oh, he is. If you have followed any protocol or used specific products to regularly ensure the parasite state control, because every living being has them, like it or not. This may be a question for Dr. Ruth as well. I'm interested in holistic protocols to keep parasites manageable and the immune system optimal. And so Leona, what Dr. Roberts would tell you is it's all really it's a healthy gut. So the idea is that as long as the gut is healthy, so I would get him on a good probiotic like Megaspore or Phytospore if he's not allergic to beef. And then you're doing a CrockPet diet. So it's an anti-inflammatory diet that supports the gut and the immune system, as well as a probiotic that's going to help keep good bacteria in the gut. Then the parasites in the intestinal tract, that they are there, but they won't overgrow and take over. So that is really like, that is what she would say to maintain a healthy um, gut without parasites in them. And there's different types of parasites, y'all. There's hookworms, roundworms, whipworms, tapeworms, and there's giardia. So they all sort of do different things. Tapeworms tend to be the most popular uh, because it has to do with flea infestation. So they get tapeworms from eating fleas. And so what happens is they're like long and flat, and so they break off, and that's when you'll see them in the poo, and poo looks like, it'll look like rice and everything like that. That's the most commonly seen. Hookworms and roundworms. And whipworms. Whipworms are the ones that you have to be careful of. So they get that from dog's poop. And so that's the one that's actually zoonotic. So you can actually get it as a human. So if you ever are dealing with a dog with whipworms, you want to make sure you wash your hands. Hookworms actually hook onto the intestines. And so, yeah. And then giardia you can get from, it's a parasite that you can get from drinking. They'll get from drinking puddle water, or like Jack could possibly get giardia from the pond. So if he ever has diarrhea and like that, then he could have giardia. And so, yeah, really, honestly, a healthy gut is going to be the best thing. The one natural thing that has popped up a lot is for help if you have parasites and need to try to get rid of them, is pumpkin seeds. So grinding up raw organic pumpkin seeds. And so there is basically a paralyzer in it called, God, I'm not going to say it right, cucurbitacin. Cucurbitacin, I think that's how you say it. And so basically it's supposed to like paralyze the parasites so that they let go of the intestinal tract and flush out of the dog's body. The thing is that there's a little bit of a Q&A on it that Dr. Roberts answered. I'll post that where she talks about the pumpkin seeds. And so she said it kind of works like ivermectin. The thing is that like that doesn't get all of the worms. So like there's hookworms, roundworms, whipworms, and tapeworms, and not all dewormings get like not all dewormings get like all the worms. So that's the thing to keep in mind as well. And then I've had some clients use, I couldn't tell you if it's effective or not, but it's like a black walnut. Where did I put it? Oh, this was it, this one. Yes. This black walnut wormwood extract. So it's got the wormwood, the walnut, and clove. And so the combination of these three is supposed to help deworm your pet. So the worms have like a 28-day life cycle. So you would do 14 days of it in the food, and then a 7-day break, and then another 14 days to clear it out. So that's another natural one I've heard a couple times. It's on there, the dosing. So I think I wrote it down too, if you needed it. Let me see. I didn't. It should be on the dosing. So yeah, it's just 14 days. So I can stick this on under there. But really, honestly, I tend to be, because I'm holistic. So like I like Eastern and Western, and I think that that's important. I mean, I think Western medicine can be very life-saving, life-changing, and important. But you can always use Western medicine. The problem is that nobody ever uses Eastern to support the side effects that the Western medicine does. But when a parasite is a parasite, it's, you want to get that out of the dog. And so like, the vets carry Drontal, Drontal Plus for dogs, and that takes care of whipworms, roundworms, hookworms, and tapeworms. And it's really like, it's easy. It's like, if I can remember, it's been so long since I've vet tech now. I think it's 2 doses, and it's like, whatever size, that many pills, like I think every 2 weeks, I think is what it was. And that I've seen that work more than anything else in the whole world. I've seen Dronto Plus work, and I've never, knock on wood, seen any side effects of a pet using Dronto Plus. So again, if you're doing holistic stuff and functional medicine stuff, meaning feeding your pet properly, helping gut support, decreasing inflammation, the pet's body is going to be able to handle um, the the medicine from the Western side. So yes. So let's see. I will copy that. Oh, I keep hitting enter. Oh, shoot. No, actually, I'm gonna do that. We're doing this. Okay, I think that is everything. All right, y'all. I'm sure I covered everything, so I wrote down notes. Yeah. Okay. And then also, I was thinking it because I have a little. Um, so 4th of July is coming up, which is great old time fireworks and dogs in misery. So there's a couple products just in case y'all are wondering about that can be helpful, more natural products than anything else. And I feel like any y'all that have been on this Facebook page for a while probably already are aware of this stuff, but Liquid NutriCalm is one that can be really helpful. It has tryptophan and theanine in it. Dr. Roberts likes the dosing of the tryptophan in it. Let's just do that. So this product can be really helpful. And I'll attach a link to it, as well as ThunderShirts, which can be really great for anxiety as well. They worked really well for. We used to put them on dogs just that had some anxiety just being at the vet when I worked at Sundog Cat Moon. Used to just have them in the back. I loved using them all the time for pets that were just nervous coming into the vet. So they hug. The idea behind them is sort of designed by Temple Grandin, who is a autistic woman. There's a really great movie called Temple Grandin on HBO, and she had autism. And when she went to go work at her aunt's farm, she saw that they would put cows in this contraption that hugged them, and it would calm them down while they got branded. And so she would have these anxiety flare-ups, and so she put herself in there, and it made her feel calm. And so the whole idea is sort of designed around that. So it hugs their chest and their side and their front, and helps them feel calm and secure. So that is can be really helpful for firework stuff, and as well as also just if you have a dog that is anxious, remember they're going to feed off of you. So if you are going crazy, like, if you're saying if the fireworks are going on, you're going, calm down, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. They're gonna be like, oh my god, all right, all right. So just remember to stay calm during it, play music during it, give them treats like it's playtime during it. Have a great little spot. A lot of people have like little closets that you'll sit in for things like that. So just remember, like, watch your level of anxiety because your dog's gonna want to go up there with you because their job is to make sure you're feeling like they feel like they want to make you sure you're feeling okay. So if you don't feel okay, then they don't feel okay. So just keep that in mind. Anyway, all right, y'all. No chats there. So yeah. So happy fourth. I'm pretty sure I'll be doing this on the fourth. So I think I'll be here next week to answer more questions. So, but I just want to get some like the Liquid NutriCalm and the ThunderShirt out there just because it's going to already be fourth, so it'll be too late then. But all right, well, y'all have a good week, and I will talk to you later.